stand up, move our legs around. I am Tina. Otherwise...
Meet Tina, stars Tina Wilson, a beacon of hope and transformation for women over 40. As a licensed life and health coach, Tina specializes in empowering those who have faced life's toughest challenges.
To the edge of their seat. So when someone says, Tina, how did you do? I'm going to say, I had it at the edge of their seat.
Drawing from her personal triumphs over tragedy, Tina guides women on a transformative journey. Her unique approach is grounded in the 5 pillars of transformation: mindset, heart set, nutrition, fitness, and resilience. Tina's mind, body, and soul awakening program isn't just about surviving, it's about thriving. Through her online fitness boutique studio, she merges physical well-being with emotional growth. As an international motivational speaker, Tina's voice resonates across continents. She inspires and educates through her podcast, her dynamic presence on platforms like Clubhouse and Toastmasters International, and her compelling storytelling. Celebrating her latest achievement, the publication of her first book, No More Traumedy, Tina continues to leave a lasting mark in the art of transformation.
I said I need to make a book for anyone who's had some type of trauma or tragedy, because there's no playlist. People don't like to talk about it. Remember, I was with my coach and I'm like, well, this person's got a cool thing. They do motivation. They do finances. I talk about traumedies. That's not cute. He's like, Tina, you make traumedies look good.
Yeah. Stars Tina Wilson, transforming lives by overcoming one traumedy at a time.
Hey, this is Tina. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I'll do a reset here. Let's give it up. Make some noise for Dragon. Woo!
All right.
Yes, thank you so much. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. This is Breakfast with Champions. I am Tina, otherwise known as Stars Tina. And if you want to get a seat at the table, all you have to do is come into the building. We are here on Clubhouse Breakfast with Champions. I am here Wednesdays at 8 a.m. I'm super excited. And if you want to get a peek at what's actually happening now, you can view me live. I'm on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn. And today we're going to jump right into the topic of resting and rotting. But before we get started, I just love to hear from you. And I just want to say good morning to everyone. I see my Maria. I see Ramon. I'm going to scroll through because I just love the good mornings. And if you're at the bottom down there with the pink ticket, grab, join the club. I see Jessica, Mar, Kavi, Anand, Hayasa. Come on up here, scrolling up some. Hi there, Julie girl. How you doing? Sweelin, I love your photo. That is too flippin' adorable. I see Tony, Vicky, Amanda, Rachel, T, Shaw. Love it, love it, love it. Coming up even more. And I see Trisha. Hi, Trisha and Patty. Pastor Jeff. How you doing? How you doing? So I love to, over here, can't forget over here on Instagram, I see Danielle. Good morning, Danielle. So I love to start my segments, even though it's Wednesday, it's hump day. The weekend is like behind us. It's in front of us, behind us. You really don't know where it is. I just want anyone having the amazing wins this week. I'm not even talking about last week. It is Wednesday. We were here. If you want to unmic and share some type of win that you have going on for this week or that happened, let me hear it. Unmic and let me hear the win. I'm hoping that we have somebody, and I'm going to look in the chat.
I got you.
Go for it. Let me hear it. Renee, can you change the link at the top, please? Oh, she's doing it now. She's the best. Go ahead.
So I have to pay attention to the road. Somebody just hit their brakes. No, well, that's a win. I didn't introduce the nose of my car to the tush of the other car. No, that's not my win. One of my many wins this week, amen. But I am putting on the market 15 condos in the next 24 to 48 hours.
Hey, where? Talk to us. I'm sure there's someone who may want to jump in.
They are in Queens.
Wow.
Queens, New York, baby. Queens, New York, yes.
Wow.
So it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a lot of fun. It's building relationships, and super excited about that. And that's my yesterday win. So let's see what the rest of the week brings.
I love it. I love it. Why wait until the end of the week or the beginning of the week, right? It is Hump Day Wednesday, Winning Wednesday. Anyone else have some joys they want to share?
Ramon,
go for it.
I heard somebody else. If somebody else was, if I was, I would think I was after somebody else. Doesn't work.
Go ahead, Ramon. Then I'll go.
Okay. Hey, what's up, man, John? Yeah, the win. Tina, I easily get discouraged and down. That's one of my many faults. Easy, like a trigger. But when that happens, then I have to look at the brands I get to work with and/or the brands I at least get to talk to. I had a call with Verizon yesterday. This billion-dollar, trillion-dollar telecom company. That was a great call. Today I have a call with Wells Fargo. So my point is knowing that I get to talk to these amazing brands and that all it takes is one or two hits, one or two balls hitting the proverbial bat. That gets me excited. Many people don't have access to those brands. And the fact that I get to talk to them, they know me, and there's money out there, it's just money for me to go find. So thanks, Tina.
John, I love that. I want to pause right here for a quick second because I'm curious, Ramon. When you first started reaching out to these big corporations, actually, when did you start? Were you scared? Were you nervous? Did you have a plan? Did you just go? What did you do? Because and I'm sure other people are starting to reach out to bigger brands.
Yeah, I definitely wasn't scared or nervous. For me, at least, that's something that's a strength of mine. I rarely get scared or nervous, but good question. And I think number two, I honed in. This is over 15 years ago, working with Microsoft and Dell back in the day. These are documented social proof. But I think for me, it's just asking myself, what does a brand need and what can I offer them? I think many people, Tina, start out from the reverse. Oh, I have a coaching program, 3 people around a table. I wonder, can Microsoft support me? Microsoft ain't got time to support nobody. But you got to reflect it. What do they want? What do they want? How can I meet them where they are? So that, I think, is my genius. That's what I do well, is listening to these big brands. They're like, oh, we want a corporate leadership retreat, or we want to reach small businesses and have 50 events. That's where I listen to what they need and then craft what I know to what they need and see what happens. Thanks.
Love that. Love that. Love it. And I did the same thing and it's currently happening for me. So I love that. Who is next? Go for it. This is our third Winning Wednesday. Go.
This is Uncle John, and I got 3 quick wins. I'm in DC for an event tonight where I'll be speaking in front of 30,000 people. I'm pretty jacked up about it. As a matter of fact, I had very little sleep last night. There's a reason. Got 176,000 plus followers now on Facebook page and just crossed 3,000 followers or subscribers on YouTube. So that's just a sampling of what's going on. So that's all big wins for me.
I love it.
Congrats, Uncle John.
I'm going to check in the chat. If anyone else wants to go, I'll give time for one more Winning Wednesday in here.
I have one.
Go for it.
Well, it's a shout out for Maria because she also is like rock star. She's representing the Frudenberg selling our property, and she is amazing. Another win is, and it goes along with the Podcast Academy, the Dragonfly Podcast Academy. I now have like a system, and it feels so good when you have a system because there's flow. So that's a win. Girl, that may sound like nothing, but that is such a win, right? I'm still trying to find my system and my groove solidly, right? It's there, but it's not 100%. I think I'm like at 80, 87%. And having a system in your business, in your life, in your relationships helps so much, right? So today we're going to jump right into it. If you didn't know, I'm Tina, otherwise known as Stars Tina. And I do all the things, but the main thing, you know how TM says, keep the main thing for me is fitness. Faith, fitness is so true and close to my heart. And today we're going to be talking about resting and rotting. And I actually got this idea. I was looking at my daughter's Instagram this morning, and that's how she lives in California. I'm in Tampa, Florida. So that's kind of how I see her a lot. Actually, what's going on in her life. And she was making a post, and she's the bomb.com. Let me tell you, I'm so proud of that little girl. But she goes in on me every now and again. And she kind of did. She was like, yeah, my mom used to always say, rest when you're dead or rest when you die. And that was my mantra in everything in life. And I raised her that way, right? Because most of my life, it has been hustle, 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 hustle. And hustle, what does hustle mean? I'm curious. Let's open up. When you think of the word hustle, talk to me. Look in the chat. What do you think of when you think of the word hustle? Anyone? This is an interactive
moving direction.
Moving direction. Anyone else?
with intention.
With
Like,
intention,
just
I like that.
Be present. Be present.
I like that.
That's hustle.
Yeah. Tina, some people think it's like a scam. Some people think it's hustle like a scam. Like, hey, I got 45 and watch. Want to buy it? Open your coat. Some have said that, and I do get it. There's the bad hustle. But for me, I echo what Maria Real Estate said, is that I think hustle is the hard work, the grind. And my previous company, Tina, as you know, was called Smart Hustle.
Yes.
So I leaned into that and said, let's not just hustle, but let's do it smartly. So that's my distinction.
I love it. When I think of the word hustle, I think of to move quickly, fast, and with purpose, right? And that's how most of my life was, because I was a single mom. If there's any single moms out there, you definitely understand what I'm going through, especially if you're the only one providing income for the children. I had 2 children, and I wanted the best for them, right? And that begins with education. And with education, it's extracurricular activities. And I could never understand why some kids did nothing. And I can almost guarantee that almost everyone here did something as a kid. And when I say do something, I mean play the flute, dance, karate, dancing, band, whatever, because it brings out these extra personalities, these extra characteristics in you. And it was very challenging. So I had to work, not just one job, but 4 to 5, maybe 6. I was like a Jamaican, you know, I was like, and I made it a cool thing, a fun thing. Like, yeah, I got 1 job, 2 jobs, 3 jobs, just go, right? I'd have my kids, I had a station wagon. I'd have them in the trunk of the car while I'm peddling perfume at the gas station at 12 o'clock at night, trying to make some extra money, right? So that is what she saw most of her life, just grind, go. And now she's on the other end of that, where you realize that when you slow down, you have a purpose, you have a strategy. Someone said earlier, you have a system. Yes, it makes life so much simpler. So today, I'm pressing on Mental Health Awareness Month. And last week, I started the conversation about this stress-free kit that I created. And I had the opportunity of sharing it on Great Day Tampa. And that idea, Ramon, what I asked you is because I'm going to go deeper with them. And this is a station in Tampa, Florida. And I went on it about 7 months ago. And they said, oh, we don't let anyone on, only once. And I've been on there 6 times already. And with this last time when I went, we're talking about the stress-free kit. And in this particular kit, it's things to help you not stress, or when you get stressed, to get unstressed, if that makes any sense at all. So today I'm going to be diving into one of those topics. But I want to start off with a continuation of where Dragon was, because I was loving his conversation when he was talking about what brings you joy. And again, I want us to open the mics. I want to make this a little more interactive, because for me, I want to talk about that joy, that happiness, right? But I mean that true deep, no matter what happens, you're going to smile, right? Whether it's going, for me, it's going to the beach. I love the sun. It's hanging out with people that make me laugh, right? And there's some people that just organically just make me laugh. My daughter is one of those people. It's just like her and her brother. I don't know. It's like maybe because their father's a comedian, but they just make me laugh all the time. So people that make me feel happy, people that are lighthearted, right? Some other things that bring me joy. Music. Oh my gosh. Let me tell you guys this. So Juneteenth is coming up. And if you're in Tampa, Lord mercy, they have this huge, when I say huge event at Raymond James Stadium. It's called Rock the Block, ROC the Block, TH, the Block. And last year I went to the event. I think it was their 2nd or 3rd year last year. And I had a vending table. I just had a little table, and it was so big. And they had this huge stage. When I say huge, like huge stage. And kind of like if any of you were hippies back in the 70s, they may do it now still. And they had this huge stage, and it was like thousands of people in the grass. That's kind of like what this stage looked like. And I remember I looked on the stage, and there was one lady on the stage, and she was doing exercise. And I was like, that could be me. So this year, I reached out to them and I said, I want to be your fitness person on the stage. What do I have to do? And she says, well, send us a proposal. So I sent them a proposal, and I'm thinking, right, you got to think big. Think big times 10. That is my thing. You got to go hard or go home, right? So I'm thinking to myself, okay, Tina, what can you bring to the table that's going to excite them, that's going to motivate them, that's going to make them say yes to you on the stage with thousands of people there? So I thought about it. But deep of, as Ramon said, what do they want, right? I took notes from him. What do they want? What do they need? And how can I bring it to them, right? And for this particular event, they want entertainment. They want people that's going to bring it. So I said, I want to do a faith-filled fitness class. Now, mind you, it's only 5 minutes on a stage, but 5 minutes is 5 minutes is 5 minutes, right? So I put a playlist together of some of the songs I would use. I sent it to them, and they said, congratulations, you're in, woo! So music, I got my DJ to get our music together. It's going to be about 7 of us. My point is joy. Music brings me joy. I have special playlists. Now I want to hear from you. I want to hear what brings you, and it's like, if you guys didn't know, I have a jukebox in my head. And right now in my head, you bring me joy, joy, joy. I have no idea what song that is or who sings it, but it's in my head right now. Anyway, let me hear what brings you joy. Good morning, Carla. Let me hear you guys. And maybe nothing brings you joy. I'm going to look in the chat.
You're bringing me joy right now. I'm driving through this beautiful northern state parkway with the trees. I'm like listening to you,
Nature.
trying to sing. I can't think of the name of the song, but I just heard it. Joy. It's a Christian song that
you bring me joy.
And
I don't know, right?
Something like that, right? Now you got me all. But you're cute.
I love it. Maria said nature, right? Oh my gosh, I love nature. I remember years ago, someone said she's going for a nature bath. I'm like, what are you talking about? When I lived in North Carolina, if I didn't live in Florida, I would probably live in North Carolina. I love North Carolina. One, the weather. It doesn't get too hot. It doesn't get too cold. But the trees, maybe it's where I lived. I lived in Cary. And also in Fayetteville, but there's so many trees. There's so many trails, right? What else brings you joy? Unmic, let me hear from you. Blackstreet sings. Okay, we're going to have to look it up. Anyone else? If not, we're going to keep this party going. All righty. So if you're just tuning in, we're talking about relieving stress from your life, how you can do it. And the reason why I wanted you to share what brings you joy is so that when you get, okay, Toad to Temple, I think wants to share Joy for King and Country. Okay. Someone came up. Did you want to share Toad to Temple? What brings you joy? Toad to Temple. Okay.
It's totem pole. Believe it or not, that's the way that reads. It's black.
Forgive me, Toad. I'm like, Toad.
That is my indigenous name, or you can call me Jamal.
Oh, gosh.
My God-given. But totem pole is my indigenous. But no, I think the joy has to come from within. It really does.
Oh, pause. I'm sorry. That hit me hard. I'm sorry to cut you off. Go ahead.
And no, it does. It is a governing of yourself, because if you recognize emotionally where you're at all times and keep yourself present and centered. A lot of times when you're getting sad, it's because you're thinking of something in the past, or you're thinking too far ahead. Stay really present. And this is the way that you can keep yourself governed and positive and happy. I'll land it right there.
Yes, I'm not letting you go that quick. So first of all, if you guys didn't know, if you're just tuning in, we're talking about stress. How to relieve stress from your life. And we're starting with the joy, starting with the wins, right? And Jamal just said, joy comes from within. And I love that so much because yes, I'm creating these things. I've created this beautiful stress-free kit to help you get rid of the stress, but the joy is inside. There's joy inside that box. And when you said that, it made me think, I got joy down in my heart, No, but seriously, joy in your heart. You love it, right? But then it got me thinking about God, right? Because if you look within, people that are not happy, they probably don't have joy in their heart, joy in their life. And as he said, when you're upset, sad, depressed, in a negative state, you're probably living in the past, right? You're depressing about the past. And when you're thinking about the future, you're anxious, like, oh my gosh, what's going to happen? That's why it's super important to be present. And yes, I know it's easy to say, just be present, just be present. It's easy to say, but actually doing it. So I love that so much, Jamal. Anyone else want to share what brings them joy? Welcome, Tony.
Joy, that song you just sang.
Yes, yes. And
you know what? You know what, start, Tina?
Yep.
So in scripture describes what love is, right? In 1 Corinthians 13.
Okay.
So, and oftentimes, and I think right now as we speak, as I mention that scripture, as I mentioned, scripture describing what love is, folks are actually thinking the love for either a significant other, spouse, mother, father, child, whatever the case may be, friends, champions on Clubhouse and Breakfast with Champions. But that love that definition could be a definition on how you love you, or how Tina loves Tina, how Tony C loves Tony C. Because it's not specific, it's just specific on what love is. Okay, so you want to learn how to love the other person better. And I'm going to be quick. Tina.
You don't have to be quick, take your time. What was that, 1 Corinthians what?
1 Corinthians 13, 4 through 7.
Okay, I got the Bible out now, so.
Oh, beautiful. Love is patient. Are you being patient with yourself? Are you giving yourself grace when you make mistakes? Love is kind. Are you kind to yourself? It does not envy. It does not boast. It is not proud. It does not dishonor others. It's not self-seeking. So that might be, folks may want to be technical and say it's not self-seeking, but if you are of love, you tapping in to recognize what love is and building that foundation to show up better for others is not self-seeking. So that voids that out in regards to, you being self-seeking to yourself. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoice with truth. It always protects. Of course, you need to protect yourself, protect your heart at all costs. It always trust yourself. You can't lie to yourself and believe it. Always hopes and always persevere. There you have it. That's the definition of love as scripture describes.
What's the scripture again?
Are you loving yourself?
Yes.
I'm sorry?
1 Corinthians.
It's 1 Corinthians 13, 4 through 7. 4
through 7. I love it. See, this is why Breakfast with Champions is so great, guys, right? Ramon, I got my notes here. So I'm not going to tell you I was in Chronicles at first, and then I had to go because I didn't see it. So, I got the Bible, but I'm still getting it together. So first,
at quick glance, I do that all the time. When I'm told to go to Corinthians, I always end up in Chronicles at first glance. So I get it.
You know what, Tony? I am loving you right now because a couple of weeks ago I was talking with someone, and when it comes to branding and pivoting and that whole thing, I'm not saying I'm rebranding. I'm just saying I'm growing, right? And in this growth, faith is super important to me. And I'm like, and I said, I feel kind of funny sometimes saying I'm a faith-based fitness professional because I'm not that deep. Someone mute that person, please. I'm not that deep into the Bible. Like you see, I was in Chronicles and supposed to be in Corinthians or whatever. And they were like, John 3:16. And I was like, for God so loved the world. Okay, start there, right? And sometimes I tend to not belittle myself, but be scared about what I want to do because I'm not that. Am I making any sense at all? I feel like I'm
Tina, you're making a lot of sense. Here's a quick suggestion. If you end up there, bookmark it because the Spirit is leading you there for some reason.
I love it. All right, crew. 1 Corinthians 13, 4 through 7 is the definition of love. That's what I'm reading tonight. All right, crew. So if you're tapping in, we're talking about resting and rotting. I got 3 points for you today. Today is going so good. If you don't have your notebooks and pens, grab it because we got people in here just dropping the gems, right? So I told you how when I was younger, okay, even last week, maybe the week before, it was all about hustle, 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 moving quickly, fast, and with purpose, right? It's not getting over on people. It's not like that at all. It's just getting the job done. And for me, even like when working out, it's like, oh, I'm gonna take a rest. Rest when you're dead. No, Tina. Maybe when it comes to exercise for me, but knowing what you want, having that big picture, right? When you've got that big picture of what you want your life to look like, all you have to do is put all the little pieces together. And if you're anything like me, that you have big goals, big dreams, big things you want to do, but like someone said earlier, we have to be super present. So the first thing I want you to realize is that stress is making us sick. All right. It's raising your cortisol levels. What happens when you raise your cortisol levels? Hello, you gain weight. And all the women know that, especially if you're a woman like me over 50, you got to let it go, right? Sleep. Is anyone here struggling with sleep? My sleep issues started in February. They're getting a little better now, but when you're stressed, it's very hard to sleep. Your mind is always going, 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 going. You're going to gain weight. Your mood is going to be up and down. It's going to be all over the place. And I'm very grateful that I'm really finally getting to a place where I can maintain. Some people would disagree with my mood. Our hormones are up and down. Your focus, you can't stay focused on certain things. And I always say you got to focus, like you got binoculars on, you got to focus on your future to get to the top. Let me say that one more time. All right. You got to focus. What do you see? What do you want? Do you see a marriage? Do you see a new car? Do you see a new house? Do you see yourself being an entrepreneur? What do you see? What do you want? Right? You got to focus on the future to get to the top. Relationships. What do your relationships look like? If you're all stressed, your relationships are probably going to be stressed, right? And I've got a friend and they're so low key and just so calm all the time. I'm like, how do you do it, man? Like, it's crazy. The body keeps the score. You cannot constantly keep pouring out and giving and giving and doing for everybody. And this can be watching someone's dog, watching someone's kid, going to school, going to work, being a mom, right? You can't do all those things. Before I go to my next topic, and by the way, the end of this month, I am doing a workshop. It's going to be in person. It's also going to be virtual. If you click the link at the top, you can sign up. It's the Reset program. It's a reset room, reset program. And I'm going to be talking deeper into this. So if you want to sign up for that, go ahead and sign up. Hi, Charlene over there. Char over there on Instagram. Yeah, so that's an event I'm doing the end of this month. But your body holds a score. And we have to stop constantly pouring without pouring into ourselves first, right? That's so very important. Before I go on to my next topic, does anyone want to share a comment, a question, an opinion about what I just spoke about? If so, on mic, maybe you write something in the chat. Maria put Nehemiah 8:10. Let me write that down. See, this is the day of notes. This is the day of notes. Maria, if you're able to chat, I've arrived. Oh, she said, I arrived at my meeting place. Make a great day. The joy of the Lord is in my strength. Okay. So I got to add it to my notes for today. Anyone want to share it before I go to my next topic? Nehemiah 8:10. Am I the only person, like when you write, it's like you get the first letter, some scribbles, and then the last? I could never understand my writing. Why am I like that? All righty, crew. Number 2, we're talking about how to have a stress-free life. 1, you can purchase my stress-free kit so that all the tools in here can help you do that. But I loved what, I think it was Tony. It was Tony who said it, right, guys? Joy starts in the heart. Was he the one who said it? Or maybe so. If not. Anyway, joy, I'm loving that, starts within your heart. Tip number 2, rest is productive, right? If you want to be productive, if you want to get things done, you have to really sit in that silence for more than just 2 minutes, right? My silence starts first thing in the morning. The first 30 minutes is silent. Either I'm just laying there, letting my thoughts come into my head. Maybe I'm meditating, maybe I'm listening to music. But sometimes the most productive thing you can do is absolutely nothing. What do you hear right now? Type in the chat, what do you hear? I hear animals. If you live by me, I swear I'm in Jurassic Park because there's all sorts of sounds. There's actually 2 alligators in my backyard. I did see them. I don't know if alligators make noise, but there's these quack, 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 and that's what I'm hearing right now. It's like the sounds, right? Resting in the silence. Birds. Char says she hears birds. Birds. Oh my gosh, that's another thing I loved about North Carolina. Oh my gosh. It was like Oh my God, I just thought about this. So I'm a Jersey girl, right? And I remember in the winter, the birds would always fly south, they would say, right? That's probably why we have so many birds here, and they are loud. Okay, so rest is important. Let me explain to you. It helps with creativity, right? This week in my community, we have weekly meetings. Every Monday night, we get together as a community. I share. This week we talked about calories, because if you want to lose the fat, and I gave them an opportunity to just be quiet and write about what they ate. And I loved Dragon talked about this earlier. He was saying how boring his eating is. He eats the same thing over and over again. But guess what? He wants to get the results that he wants for his health. So he's got his system of his food. So doing the same thing is good. And being still creates that creativity. Now, stillness, it also improves clarity, right? And for me, I love being clear. I love knowing exactly, for my Wednesdays here in BWC, I knew it was going to be something with mental health because this is Mental Health Awareness Month, but I wasn't like too targeted what I was going to talk about today because I like to be free flowing, right? I like to hear different things and pull from that. And that's how I kind of got the joy part from Dragon, because we want that joy. So when you have that stress in your life, you can think, okay, what's going to bring me joy? Maybe you play a song, maybe you in your mind, you mentally go there, because visualization, oh my gosh, it works so well. Let's just talk about you're at work. I was gonna say you're at job. You're at work and you've got this coworker, or maybe even it's your boss, right? And you just don't like them. And I genuinely like most people, but I realized yesterday, Tina, why are you trying so hard to like someone? Why are you trying so hard to make someone like you when maybe it's just not meant to be? Some people are just not meant to be your friend. They're not meant for you to like. And I was so clear to me. I was like, girl, first of all, this person curses all the time. They say the F-bomb, and there's nothing wrong with that if you do that. I just don't like it, right? If you would have known me years ago, this company I worked for, that was the culture. Everything was MFF, da, 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 da. I was cursing all the time. It was fun. It was like, hey, but now I'm in a place to my life where I don't like that. There's certain things I don't want to be around. And those type of things or those type of people, I just don't vibe with. So you have to realize what fits good for you, and maybe you just step yourself away. So we're talking about rest. Burnout blocks joy. If you're always going, you're not going to have that happy joy. So making sure you're resting. All right, we're halfway through the segment right now. Feeling good, feeling awesome. Anyone want to share if anything's happened to them, or any aha moments, any greatness that they got in their quiet time when they were resting, something that happened? Hi, Portia girl. I heard someone on mic. Go.
Oh, that was me. So for me, for some reason, anything associated with water, whether it's, taking a shower, going by a pond, going to the beach, and the word spa derives from, a Greek word, which means health by water. And for me, it works. For some reason, water, when I come to water for, that mental reset, physically and mentally, it works. So I just wanted to share that.
I love that. And we all know about ChatGPT. And when you said that, I wanted to know why. Now I'm to the point, I feel like I'm a 2-year-old right now. If any of you have a 2-year-old or a 3-year-old, they're like, why? Why? Everything is a why with them, right? And when you talked about the water, it made me think of, yes, I love water. I love the feel of water. And then I thought, why? So I went into chat and I put, why does water make us feel so calm? And he said, water calms the nervous system. And lately I've been talking a lot about my nervous system. Like if something's not good for me, I just got to get away. I have to protect my peace, because if I don't, this girl can go from 0 to 100 like that. And it can be in a good way where I might be crying or like screaming in a ball of tears, right? Or it can be I'm bang, bang, shoot 'em up sort of thing. Like, hey, right? I kind of go like that. But water is the one thing that keeps me still, and my nervous system, right? So I have to protect my nervous system. I've learned the things that trigger me and why they trigger me, right? So February 26th, August 4th, those are 2 times of the year you want to tiptoe around, Tina. I warn people, right? Like, watch out. right? Because those are very sensitive times for me. Mother's Day, that's another time that's extremely sensitive for me. I don't know how I'm going to react on these days. Mother's Day, February 26th, it's either 26, which was the day, trigger warning if this upsets anyone, the day my 21-year-old son was murdered. August 4th, his birthday. Those 3 days, maybe Christmas, Thanksgiving, right? It could be any of those days, but my nervous system doesn't know, so I have to protect my peace. And it's like, okay, team, I don't want to work on my Mother's Day. I don't know what I want to do, right? So water, the sound of the waves, of the rain, flowing water can help our body out of this fight or flight mode and into a relaxed state. If you were here in Tampa yesterday, it was hot. Oh my gosh, these past few days have been so hot. Like they said, it didn't rain in 2 weeks. And yesterday, for like 20 minutes, I think God just like, whoa! I should have went outside. I didn't even think about it. But it was so much rain. Oh my gosh. You know, like singing in the rain. I wish I would have done that. But just the rain, it was just coming, right? Your heart rate slows down. Breathing. When you hear the water, when you feel the water, and maybe you're not near a pond or waterfalls, get on your phone, go to Spotify, put rainfalls. If you're home, put on the shower, put on the sink. Your brain starts to feel safer when it hears water, when it feels water. My daughter went to Mexico a couple of weeks ago and she did like a sound bath on the water, right? And I was looking at her page and they're in the middle of the water. They have they're either kayaks or something, and they're in a shape of like a star. And I'm like, wow, that must have been amazing. Not only do you have the sound of the water, you're actually on the water, so you're kind of like moving. You've got the sun, the moon, not the moon, the sun, the wind, on your face. And then this person doing sound baths, so important. Floating in a pool, listening to rain sounds, like I said, sitting near a lake, just in nature. All of these things keeps you calm. I'm talking about water right now. I think was Patty mentioned. Water creates a meditative effect. Repetitive sounds like the ocean waves can quiet your mental chatter and help the brain focus on less stress. So if you're at work and it's like getting on your nerves, play some calming music, play some water, let your mind go back to a place, right? Waterfalls. Anyone here ever seen a waterfalls? There was one in Jersey I went hiking with a friend, and it was this huge waterfalls. And as I'm here, I can just see the waterfalls. If you're in Patterson, New Jersey, I haven't been there in years. They have a waterfalls over there, right? Water slows us down long enough to hear ourselves think again. Carla says she loves the country view, the green grass, and the blue skies. Yes. Shara says, my best walks are by the water. I love to hear the waves. Yes. And this reset, I'm taking these names. Reset I kind of got from one of my clients. She'd always say, I got to reset. I'm like, I don't want to hear the reset. But I think I kind of like the reset now. I think she dragged it into my head. Water, I'm back to it. Another one, spirituality. Water represents renewal. Water often symbolizes cleansing, peace, healing, rebirth, restoration. You can connect to this, like we said, by the water, sitting by the beach, letting God just pour back into you. So thank you so much for bringing up that topic. Whoever brought it up, love it, love it, love it, and thank you. All right, my third tip. Here we go. We got 20 more minutes. Does anyone else want to chime in on resting, something that happened for you? And this is what I wanted to hear. Anything that happened in your life, that aha moment or something you created in your rest time. Anyone have anything?
Hi, it's Leslie. I just wanted, from my aha was just a while ago, as you were going over the benefits of water. I've always loved water, and I thought it's because I'm from the Caribbean, done everything in the water, from scuba dive to sun fishing, anything you can think about, I've done in the water. And so our house, I'm in Florida, so there's a lot of retention lakes. So the house is built on a retention lake. So I'm always surrounded around water. Never looked up the benefits. I just know it's very common. where the living room set is and where I sit in the living room faces that retention.
We can't hear you, Leslie. I'm not sure if you blinked out. You were talking about your living room set with water in there. We lost her, but that's okay. It just makes me realize, how important the water is, like we already know. Thank you, Leslie, for sharing. All righty, guys. So my third tip today, we're talking about resting and rotting, and that's the third one, rest and rot. Go to the beach. Maybe you're not near a beach. That's okay. Rot in the sun, right? Put your feet in the grass. We talked about this before, grounding. Go outside, hug a tree, sit at a coffee shop, watch the waves, take a nap with no guilt, right? No guilt at all. Just and maybe you're like, I don't have time. Well, you don't have time not to have time, because you're never gonna feel great, feel good, and get the things that you truly want if you're just always going, and you're not going to be able to really enjoy them, right? You're going to be going all the time. So resting and rotting, because when we slow down, we can finally hear what God has to say to us. And I remember the first time I heard God's voice, because I hear people talk about this all the time. I'm like, they're just saying that, they're just saying that. But we were meditating in my group. We're doing meditation right before class for 5 minutes. I'm like, okay, guys, let's meditate. And I was just quiet. And I heard him say what he said. And I was like, oh my gosh, I was so excited because I never heard God speak to me before. But we have to be quiet. We have to be still. You don't have time not to have time. Yes, Shar, I love that. So resting and rotting. What are some other ways where I can rest, where I do? What I do when I work out is I intentionally focus on one thing. And that's what I think a lot of people do wrong. They think they have to do so many things at once. And yesterday I was working with a client with a simple move of a squat. Let me see if I can put my whole body on this screen so you can see. I'll back up some. So if you see me backing up, let me bring this camera around, just your posture alone, right? Think about your posture. I made it worse. Think about your posture when you're standing up. Most people have horrible posture, and that's the easiest thing you can do. Oh, I never turned my off. So I think you can see my whole body. So seeing my whole body right here, your feet, right? When you're standing up, your posture is important. Make sure your feet are standing solid on the floor. And if you're standing up, that's great. If not, being barefoot, so important. When is the last time you were actually barefoot? I love being barefoot, right? Your feet are solid on the floor. Your knees are nice and soft. Your stomach, right? Pull your stomach in. So important. Your shoulders up, back, down, and around. Just doing the shoulder part does it for me. Your head. Pretend there's a pole at the top of your head pulling you up, 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 up. Pulling up your heart, pulling up your soul, right? And your chin, I always say, you don't want your chin too far down and you don't want it way up. So just pretend there's an egg under your chin and you have that posture right there. So when you're standing, you're right here. Hands out to the side, heart is open. And again, simple thing as a lunge or a squat or even let's just say standing. Look at your posture. Are your shoulders back? Is your heart, I said heart open. They said, what are you talking about? I love yoga and I teach yoga, so I say that a lot. What is your heart doing? Is your heart open or is it closed? You want to be open. Open up your heart. This brings you peace. This brings you joy. This brings you happiness. All of those things, right? And that is how you can rest and rot. I'm going to wrap up all the things that I spoke about today, and then I'm going to give us some space to just freestyle in our talks today. Today, we're talking about resting and rotting because a lot of people have stress in their life. And we mentioned in the beginning how stress causes so many things that we don't need, that we don't want. I spoke about this beautiful stress kit that I've created. You can purchase it if you like. And the one thing I wanted to share today that I love most about our stress kit is my journal. I have so many journals. I've got my angry journal. I've got my love journal. I've got my doodling journal. But just as long as you're getting the thoughts out of your head is so important. And a journal is one of the things that comes with the stress kit. And the first tip I talked about today was how it can cause stress for us when you're not relaxing, when you're not taking time for yourself. The stress causes cortisol levels high, all this stuff. The second tip I talked about, rest is productive. You get so many things done when you're resting in that space. And then the last one that I said, just riding in it. Just let it go, do it ugly, do it whatever. Great idea having a stress kit. And I brought something out for you guys. These are some things that I created in February. Was it February? No, August. February. August I created these. Yes, I'm sorry. February. I told you those 2 days. February marked 10 years that my sonny boy has been gone. And leading up to that day, I was just like, okay, what am I going to do? Normally, my daughter and I are together. Last year, we went to Tulum. It was beautiful. I went to Texas to see my family. I'm usually around people. We usually do some big event. And this current year, I was like, no, I don't want to do that. I'm going to do this on my own. I'm going to be strong. And let's just say the February was not good. I was freaking out. It was very, very bad for me. This is Mental Health Awareness Month. And as I mentioned, I'm a life and health coach. I'm that person that knows how to deal with the trauma, knows how to deal with the pain and turn it into triumphs. That's what my book focuses on. So if you're currently struggling or you know someone who's struggling and they don't know how to move forward, this book will definitely help. I wrote this book 2 years ago, and it shares a little bit of my story, which is the murder of my son. He was 21, and how I got through it. And if you need results fast, just go to the last chapter. The last chapter shares all the things I did to push through that pain. So February, I'm freaking out, and I'm just like, it was really bad, guys. It was so bad. I was thinking about putting myself in the hospital because the thoughts, the ideas. And then a friend of mine said, well, Tina, what brings you joy? What are the things that makes you feel good? And he said, write them on index cards. So I'm like, I don't have any index cards. So he sent me an index card. I have so many index cards now, it's ridiculous. And I decided, and then I thought, I'm going to go to the beach. And I brought my book with me because, this is here. I'm like, girl, I'm sitting there. I'm like, oh my gosh. This is a good book. I didn't realize how good it was. But what I did was I created these cards, and I want to invite you, if you find yourself sometimes in a stressful, depressed, anxious state of mind, create your own stress-free kit. And I added this personal touch for myself. I sat at the beach and I had these cards and I wrote down all the things that bring me joy. I wrote down, and I numbered them, right? Because when I get low, guys, like, it's bad. Like, I'm going to share one of the moments with you, and this is going super deep. This particular moment, I was on the phone. My daughter is a professional retired dancer, now professional health coach, yoga, like all that stuff. And she was at this time, she was getting ready for a really, really big brand photo shoot. So I didn't want to stress her with the situation of what I was going through at that time. And I was talking to, I reach out, I know who to reach out to because who can handle certain things with you. Like, I know I cannot call my mother. I love my mother, but I can't because she's going to be on the phone crying with me. Like, that's not going to help me. And I was talking to someone on the phone and I just could not seem to get it together. Welcome to stage, mommy. I could not seem to get it together. And I was like, go for a walk, but I had no energy, right? My energy was so low. And I was just throwing things, I'm on the phone with this person and He's like, well, call your daughter, because he knows like my daughter can help me. I said, no, I can't call my daughter. She's busy, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, I'm fine. And I hung up the phone. I actually threw the phone. And then my daughter called me, and I'm pissed right now. So I'm talking to her and I'm crying and screaming. And I'm like, why did you call my daughter? I told you not to call her, blah, 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 blah. And then she's on the phone with me, and she's doing her thing, what she does, right? And I'm just screaming. I'm just, and she's like, what do you see? And I said, I don't see anything. My eyes are closed, because I was so mad. I'm just like, you ever get so mad, you're like crying and you're screaming and your eyes are closed and you're just like, and that's where I was. And she's like, okay, open your eyes. Snap out of it. Open your eyes. What do you see? Why? Because I was living in the past. At that moment, your mind, your brain doesn't know the difference between what's actually real, what's actually happening, right? And what's real. And right now, as I think about that moment, I'm thinking about that moment. And in that moment, I was thinking about my son. I was thinking about my future. My past. That's where these cards come into play. At that moment, I didn't have these cards, right? I created these cards when I realized all this stuff isn't working. And I'm like, I got sick and tired of depending on other people to help me get back to where I needed to be, because the first person couldn't do it. So they reached out to my daughter, and my daughter, she can do it, but it's not her responsibility, right? I have to trust that God is going to help me get through these moments. So God taught me how to come up with these right here. And the first one I put, get the fudge up, stand up, move, shake your hands, fingers, whatever. Because when you're in this state, you're just like limp, at least me. I'm so limp. It's like, I can't move. I just want to go into a ball. That was my card number one. And I have all these things here. Pray, say this 3 times. We can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. We can do all things, that's what I have here. Breathe deep. Super. See, this is my tool right here. Breathe deep. Super, super, super deep breaths. Get present. I'm going to give you guys a tip right now, something I learned to hack the brain right now. 2 inhales, 2 deep inhales, and a deep exhale. It's going to shock your brain. It's going to change your mindset, everything, when you're feeling in those states. If you're feeling a little anxious right now, do it with me. Let's go. Let's go. Deep inhale. So I'm going to shut these short because I want to hear from you guys. But I created my own cards. There must be about 20 or 30 cards here that I created. Proverbs 18:21. Okay, I guess I did some Bible verses too. Cry, scream, make time to do this. All right. So this and the book are things that I did. That is my third tip that I use to get rid of all that stress. All righty. So with that being said, I'm going to give us this opportunity now to open up the floor. If you have a question, if you have a comment. Today I came on here and my goal, my focus was to give you some strategies, right? As I mentioned, the end of this month, I'm doing an in-person event. It's going to be virtual as well. It's a workshop to teach you how to get stress-free. There's going to be interactive activities. There's going to be other, people that you can engage with, community, which is awesome. That's what we all need, right? Shar says, trust God to get us through tough moments, right? And we got to have those tough moments. I don't know about you, but I love the other side of the tough moments. They are absolutely phenomenal. You cannot, I repeat, you cannot elevate your business, your relationships, your health, or your purpose from a state of constant exhaustion. Your body cannot do it. Your mind cannot do it. Rest, my friends. Rest is not quitting. Rest is preparation, right? When you rest, you have so much energy. And also what you're eating, right? I got to say this, so important. If you're putting junk, if you're putting crap in your body, you're going to feel tired. You're going to feel sluggish. So that's why you want to eat clean, so you have so much energy. Maybe this season isn't about doing more. Maybe, my friends, it's about healing more, healing those broken parts inside of you so that you can be an even better person. Because we're all great, right? We're all wonderful, but don't we all want to be even better? I know I do. All right, we got about 5 more minutes. If you want to unmic, share your name, comment, question. If you like what you're hearing, there's many ways of how you can connect with me. If you want a one-on-one consultation, I do one-on-ones. I have a certain hour each week where I do this. If you're like, I think I want to join her community. I want to hear what she has to say. Tap in. I also have a YouTube channel, which has all sorts of videos with exercise videos, motivational quotes, that sort of thing. And again, like I said, the event that we're doing the end of this month. All right. This is your opportunity to speak. River says, so true. Our feet are the roots and the spine holds all of the energy. Going barefoot allows us to recharge on a cellular level, giving the chakra in alignment from earthing truly makes the whole body feel good. Reflexology, the feet are the roots to our posture and positive flow. I love that. There's a movie on Netflix. It's called Earthing, I think, or Grounding or something like that. It was really good. River Jessica Kizzy, thank you for the hearts. I'm loving it. Dr. EP. Anyone else? Whew. I feel like I've been running with this conversation today. Water represents renewal. Renee said that right there. Portia had thought water made us calm because we start life. Oh, okay, Portia. That was a hot one, girl. Portia said she thinks we feel close to water because that's where we came from in the womb. I like that. I'm scrolling to see if I have any more things here in the note. So true. Okay, I talked about the feet. All right, family and friends. I'm going to move on to another topic since no one has questions, comments. Maybe that just means I hit all the points, which is great. So with that being said, I'm just going to open up to a certain page in here. I don't even know. And the page I'm going to stop on for these final 5 minutes, as we're talking about resetting, as we're talking about peace, resting and rotting, I'm just going to end with boundaries, because Dragon spoke about this earlier. I loved it. You got to protect your peace, and you got to do that with boundaries. Boundaries are so very important. And what part do I want to read in here? My daughter wrote the chapter in here about boundaries, and I loved it. And it's not much, but here we go. Boundaries. The deeper I get into this book, the more emotional I find myself becoming. The process of writing it has been incredibly therapeutic for me, especially as a mother whose children mean everything to her. It was a revelation to realize how my own pain had unknowingly affected my daughter, Divinity. She has been my rock, helping me navigate through the trauma of our lives. I'm proud to introduce you to the most beautiful girl in the whole wide world, Divinity. And again, I'm just reading a little bit of this because it just really hit. My mom keeps asking me to write a chapter in this book, and it pains me deeply that she even has to write this book, which is why I was so resistant to write the chapter or even read the book, because I saw firsthand what losing a child can do to someone's confidence, to their mental state, and to their chakras, and to how they show up in the world. But what I did learn from all of this, from a daughter's point of view, are boundaries, grace, and unconditional love. Let's start with the big B word that almost ended my mother's and I relationship after the passing of my dear brother. Setting a boundary was a foreign to me. I had no idea what that meant until one lonely morning in my new LA apartment. I was there with my 2 roommates. I met them off a Facebook group called Black Housing LA or something like that. I was on FaceTime call with my therapist. I loved that white man so much. He opened my eyes and heart to things I didn't even think were possible. He explained to me on that lonely day that you are allowed to tell people who you love that they can't say or do certain things that might trigger you in a downward spiral or take you off your baseline. I'm going to end there. I'm going to read that line one more time because it hits so hard. He explained to me on that lonely day that you are allowed, write that down for me, you are allowed to tell people who you love. And we know that's hard, right? You love your mother, you love your husband, you love your friends, you love these people, you never want to hurt them. You're allowed to tell those people who you love that they can't say or do certain things that might trigger you in a downward spiral or take you off your baseline. Because some people just diarrhea at the mouth all the time and they're not allowed to do that. That is my ending moment for you today. As we talked about resting and rotting, I want to end it with boundaries. Make clear boundaries for yourself and don't let any one of them, whether it's some, PJ said it earlier, putting his phone on the other side of the house. If he answers it, he answers it. And I used to be that one to just reply to text messages right away because I like that done for me. But I realized, well, Tina, take your time. You don't have to answer every single text, every single moment when it comes in. They're still going to be there, right? So important to just rest in the rotting. Yes. So as I mentioned earlier, I am a life and health coach, faith focused wellness strategist. What does that mean? That means I work with women that are going through some type of trauma or tragedy, and we do it through fitness. I love the fitness realm. We have online classes. I do some in-person pop-ups, and I'm loving what I'm doing. And if you've heard something that you love today, please share this link with someone. I am Tina. I'm here every Wednesday at 8 a.m. It's going to be new because usually the first week I didn't, but now it's going to be every single Wednesday except the last Wednesday. And I'm adding an in-person component to it. Yes, I'm here on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. Yes, I'm over there on Instagram, but I said, you know what, T? I've been hanging out with my friend Myron Golden lately, and he mentioned how he started at IHOP every week doing in-persons. So I'm going to take this community in person here in Tampa. So make sure you stay tuned so you can join the community here as we're here every Wednesday talking about fitness, faith, and all the wonderful things. With that being said, this is Breakfast with Champions, my favorite morning show. I am Tina. We got Portia Mystique coming up. She is the author with the mostest. All right, guys. Thank you. Peace and a bottle of hair grease. Bye. Thank you.